Chapter 3. After school, I made my way to the 8th grade classrooms at the end of the building. The school newspaper office is in Miss Richards' room. Miss Richards sat at her desk grading papers. As I stepped into the doorway, she glanced up and frowned. Then she returned to her work. I saw Tasha typing furiously at the computer in the corner. Her lips moved as she wrote, her forehead furrowed in heavy concentration. I walked over to the assistant editor, an 8th grader named Melly. Melly has short, straight brown hair and wears glasses with brown frames that match her hair. She was leaning over a long news story, running her finger down the page as she read. "Hi, Melly," I said. She glanced up and frowned too. "Ricky, you made me lose my place." "Sorry," I said. "Any stories for me today?" You probably wonder why I signed up to be a reporter on the Harding Herald. It's not that I'm a great writer or anything. Every kid at Harding needs 20 activity points a year. That means you have to try out for sports or join clubs or other after-school activities. No way I was going to try for a sport, so I signed up for the newspaper. I thought it would be easy. That's because I hadn't met Tasha yet. Tasha treats all 6th graders like bugs. She makes a disgusted face when a 6th grader walks into the room. Then she tries to step on us. She gives all the good story assignments to 8th graders. Do you know the first story she asked me to write? She asked me to count the dirt patches in the playground and write about why grass didn't grow there. I knew she was just trying to get me out of the office, but I wrote the story anyway. It's hard to write a good story about dirt patches, but I did a really good job. My story was 5 pages long. She never printed it in the paper. When I asked her why, she said, "Who cares about dirt patches?" My next assignment was to interview the night janitor about the difference between working days and nights. That one didn't get into the paper either. I wanted to quit, but I really needed activity points. If I didn't earn 20 activity points, I couldn't graduate from 6th grade. Why? I have to go to summer school. Really. So I kept coming to the Harding Herald office 2 or 3 afternoons a week after school, asking Tasha for more news stories to write. "Anything for me?" I asked Melly. She shrugged. "I don't know. Ask Tasha." I moved over to Tasha's desk. "Any stories for me?" I asked her. She kept typing. She didn't glance up. "Wait till I'm finished," she snarled. I backed away. I turned and saw Miss Richards walk out of the room. Some kids were talking by the table near the window, so I crossed over to them. David and Ward, 2 of my enemies, were arguing about something. They're both sports reporters for the paper. They write about all the Harding games. The rest of the time, they hang around the office, making trouble. David is tall and blonde. Ward is short and lumpy and red-faced. He looks like a little wart. I saw some cookies and cans of soda on the table. I tried to walk around David and Ward to get to their drinks, but Ward stepped in front of me. He and David both grinned. "How was your lunch, Ricky?" Ward asked. They laughed and slapped each other a high five. I glared at Ward. I wanted to wipe the grin off his face. "Why did you trip me?" I could feel my face growing hot. "I didn't," he lied. David laughed. "You did too," I insisted. "You stuck out your foot." "No way," he said. "I didn't touch you." "You tripped over a crack in the floor," David chimed in. "Or maybe it was in their pocket." They both laughed. They're so lame. I grabbed a can of Pepsi off the table, popped it open, and started to walk away. "Hey, wait!" Ward held me by my shoulder. I spun around. "What's your problem?" "That's the can I wanted," he said. "Too bad. Get your own," I told him. "No, I want that one." He swiped at the can. I swung my hand out of his reach, lost my grip, and the can went flying across the room. It sprayed Pepsi as it flew, then landed in the middle of Tasha's keyboard. She let out a squeal, jumped up, knocked her chair over. I quickly grabbed a handful of paper napkins from the table and darted across the room. "Don't worry, I'll clean it up," I told Tasha. The keyboard was soaked. I frantically started to mop the keys. "No, Ricky, stop!" Tasha shrieked. Too late. I stared in horror at what I had done.